The race for 2024 is ramping up, at least within the Republican primary. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is expected to announce her presidential bid on February 15th. Haley's announcement would make her former President Donald Trump's first official GOP opponent. And she definitely won't be the only one. Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has also said he is looking at and taking a close look at a potential presidential run. And let's not forget Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who has neither confirmed nor denied his 2024 ambitions, but many think he will, in fact, run. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Vitali joins me now. So, Ali, tell us all about what you know about Nikki Haley and this announcement, and what's former President Trump saying?
Yeah, Yamiche, it's looking like we're going to have at least one more person in the field. And frankly, it's going to be more than just Nikki Haley when she gets in mid-month. Her advisor is telling me that her rollout plan starts in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where she sent an invitation today, telling supporters to meet her there for what they're calling a special announcement. But look, not surprising to anybody that she's running for president now. And it seemed like former President Trump had an inkling or an idea that this was going to happen, because this is what he said over the weekend before this invitation went out.
Nikki Haley called me the other day to talk to me. I talked to her for a little while, but I said, look, go by your heart if you want to run. She's publicly stated I would never run against my president. He was a great president. I'd never run.
Did she call you?
What did she say on the call?
No, but she called me. She said she'd like to consider it.
And she was letting you know?
And I said, you should do it.
And look, Trump was highlighting again today the fact that at one point Haley did say she wouldn't run for president in 2024 if her former boss, when she was ambassador to the UN, Trump, was running. It's clear he's running, and it's also clear that she has had a change of heart there.
So interesting to hear Trump talk about Nikki Haley and her possibly promising not to run against him. Now that we know a little bit more about what's going on the Republican side, do we know if another President Biden, whether he's going to run? What's the Democratic field looking like possibly?
Gosh, the Democratic field is frozen because, typically, this well, you and I have done campaigns for a long time. Typically, if you are a former president or you are the president currently, you are sort of deferred to in the field. You manage to freeze out any competition. It's clear that Trump wasn't able to do that. He is the de facto standard bearer, but there's still people who think that they can be a better future leader of the party, clearly. Republicans probably going to have a lot of governors, currents and formers, vying for that position. But on the Democratic side, because Biden is still deciding, actively chewing this over, it's clear that has frozen other Democrats in place. That's for a lot of reasons, especially that it's hard to run against a guy with the biggest bully pulpit in the nation. And that's what Biden has, being the sitting president. But if he were to decide not to run, the first place that everybody would look would be to his number two, Vice President Kamala Harris, the first woman in that role, someone who also ran for president herself in 2020 against Biden. So that's clearly someone who everyone would look to and wonder if this is the person who could assume the mantle. But there's definitely others, too. You and I know many of them well.
Well, I'll definitely keep checking my calendar to see when President Biden walks out. And thank you so much for covering 2024 since exactly the end of the midterms in 2022. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ali Vitali.
Never too early.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.